this doubleheader last year really started Dixon's charge. For others, it ended their charge. How important is coming out of Toronto either to make your championship happen or?
Yeah, it's big. It's we're only 6 races to the end, you know. So after this weekend, there will be 4 races left. It's very important to come out of here in the lead or right there, you know. So hopefully we can do that.
Having only 6 races to go, it sounds not much, but if you put the points in perspective, it's a lot of points still, especially with doubleheader and double points in Fontana. When you put that in perspective, it doesn't sound like 6 races. It sounds more like 8 races, and or actually 10 races, and that's the way we should look into it.
This particular weekend is a make or break, you know, in my championship anyway. I mean, you know, if we rattle a couple of wins off or a couple of podiums, then we're still alive, but otherwise I think we're in trouble. So this one's important to us. But for the other guys, I mean, 100 points at stake, you know, still 350, 400 almost, you know, to go in the season. So there's still a lot of points to be had.
Well, it's very important, and it's been the turning point of my season so far for the last 3 years, really. That's when it started to click with Neil at Coin as well, and it's not as many races left though this time. We've obviously been much deeper in the season, but you know, if we get a strong end of the season and 2 good races here, we can, you know, make a few things happen. But it's like you said, it's such a tough field, and it's so tight. You just can't afford to have any setbacks. You just got to be on the move and score big every race, and hopefully we can do that from here on out.
It would make a big impact, I think, on our 2014 season, you know, given what happened, you know, in the season up to this point, if we had a strong result here. So getting up on the podium, I think, would be a really welcome thing. Winning here would definitely make 2014 one to remember, despite a bunch of races that are probably better be forgotten.
Well, I mean, every race, well, except for the double points race, pays the same points. So you've got 6 races left. You've got to obviously get more points than anyone in those 6 races. So where you lose or gain that, you know, I don't think it matters. It's just that you've got to score more than anyone else, or depending where you are, I've got to score 10 more points than Castaneda's right now, and then you've obviously got Hunter-Reay and all them who are right there in the mix. But yeah, put it simply, just put your head down and work. That's it. Like thinking of mathematics and points and what happens if you have this or that. Put your head down and work for 6 races. That's it.
I like the idea of you doing math in your head while driving.
I do, actually. I'm pretty sharp with the old math too. Maths, as we call it in Australia.
I think it can do both. You know, it can help you a lot. We saw with Dixon last year. He won these 2 races, and he was in the championship up top. And if you don't finish the 2 of the races, you're gonna lose the completely hope of the championship, even the top 10. So it's really important to finish all the races, and I think that's the mentality I'm gonna have. Just finish both races.
Yeah, I think with with how the points are, whether it's a 500-mile race where you get 100 points or a doubleheader weekend. You know, as we saw for Alio last year at Houston, it's a quick way to turn around the championship that you were having in a good way or a bad way. For us, doubleheaders last year were quite key to us winning the championship. So, you know, I love them. I think if you're going to be at a race weekend, you should be racing and put on a show for everybody. Saturday and Sunday is quite fun. So, you know, it goes both ways, and I think it evens out in the long run.
Well, with the double points races, whether it be a double race weekend at Toronto, Houston, or Detroit, or double points race at one of the 500-mile races, you see a big swing in points. You know, at Pocono, we had a suspension failure. We went from knocking on the door of the points lead to 5th in points. So it's really tough. You got to stay consistent, and running up front, like I said, both weekends or both races this weekend will get you at least out of the double street course puzzle.
Yeah, I don't think that, I'm not looking at it that way anymore. Obviously, I'd love to move up in points, but being where we're at, we're in a dogfight with several guys. We're very close. But as I said to someone the other day, I'm looking for home runs now. We're not going to win this championship, nor are we probably going to reach the top 10. So for me, it's home runs, and we've got 6 races left, 2 of them here to win, and that's the goal. I mean, with the National Guard team, We got them their first official podium. They'd finished second before, but first time ever on the podium this year. Then we'd like to get them their first win. So, we're working hard towards that.
Toronto can go either way. I mean, this is kind of the final doubleheader, to where there's more risk for a lot of people. There's 2 races where people can mess up, so more so than a Fontana, where it's 100 points for the one event. You've got 2 events that you have to get right here, and that's double the pressure for everyone. So if you mess up, you don't want to mess up twice. You want to limit it to 1 race, and ideally you don't want to mess up at all, because if you have both races that go right, it can pay double dividends. And it pays double dividends because if you have a weekend that you have both races good and someone else has a weekend that has both races bad, it can give you a huge jump in points. And I think that's what people look for when they're coming into this. So, for us, we need to capitalize on that. We can't be risking the car. We don't want to be too conservative to where we finish down the order, but we've got to be just risky enough to where we get solid points, but we don't wreck the car every weekend.